Gracious morning. So happy Tuesday, everybody. This is Dr. Lakita on I Speak Life. And as I stated before, we are on a new platform. And so we are trying it out, and we are new, and we are going to be playing with it. And and we are just super duper excited about it all. Super duper excited about it all. So definitely hang with us. It is going to be better because I absolutely love it. We just got to play around with it for a little bit, and then we're going to add some other professional stuff to it. We just wanted to see if it works. Hey, good morning. So it do work. Tell me what you guys think regarding the clarity, because we're also just cost effective. Good morning, Leonard. Good morning, Daryl. Good morning, folks. You guys are popping on here. So let me know. Can you guys see us? Is it clear? I'm going to get with the IT folks that I work with to do some other things, some other intros and all that kind of stuff. But before we did all of those things, we wanted to make sure you guys can hear us, see us, can feel the pulse of who we are. Is it clear? All of that great, grand stuff. So give us those shout outs so we are fully aware. Very clear. Okay, great. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you. And yes, I know hair appointment is on Thursday. Hair appointment is on Thursday. So y'all just bypass what you guys see. Okay, very clear. Okay, great. Perfecto. Okay, good. All right, so we are excited and elated that you guys are all here. It looks like, okay, you guys are jumping on here. Thank you guys so much. We are going to share it. So make sure you guys do some sharing. This week, we're going to talk a little bit about something that kind of dropped in my spirit. And I think it's going to be providential, and I think it's also going to be pretty prophetic. And we're going to talk about psychological warfare, and we're going to talk about sort of the origins of psychological warfare, what it was originally used for. So we're going to do a little bit of history and learning and all of that kind of stuff, and then how it has been done in past times and where we are today. So go ahead and share with some people. We want to give a sincere condolence to one of our faithful listeners, Laretha. She lost her brother on yesterday, so we're giving loves and hugs and prayers to you and your family, Miss Laretha. We love you guys dearly. To your brother's family, we just want to send out a God bless you and comfort to their home and to all those that are attached to him. All right. So, amen. And we're praying for you all. So we are excited and beautiful. Uh, we just love the opportunity to come before you guys. And then we're going to get the IT folks to make some changes and some things of that nature. So if you see her on the page, just give her some loves and some likes if y'all can. Laretha, very faithful sister, been rocking it out with us for about almost 2 years consistently. And so we want to let her know that we are thinking of her and praying for her. All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about psychological warfare. Good morning, Judy. Love you. Lovings and blessings. So we are just wanting to love and say happy Tuesday to each and every last one of you. We're thanking God for you guys. I am doing my due diligence to share this with folks. And if you guys could do the same, that would be so great to share with some people and bless them also with it. I'm going to share it with some groups, and then we're going to be able to rock and roll. We came on here, and we are glad that we're moved on. One of the things that we have figured out, I see y'all, um, is that these big companies sometimes they think that they can kind of bully you into some things and so forth and so on, and which is why later on they end up having these class law action suits against them. And so the place that we were on was just really not cooperating, and we've been with them for just far too long for them to be acting in that way. So we figured, no problem, no problem at all. There's always someone that's doing what you're doing, and sometimes we don't move, we don't want to leave things because we've gotten so comfortable. But people who remain comfortable also become stuck. I'm gonna say it again. People who remain comfortable also become stuck. And so, while the world is turning and moving and shaking, and we have a God that moves and that's constant and things of that nature, you just learn whatever new stuff you need to learn and move so that you're not stuck. So that the momentum of how God moves shows up. And so, we are ecstatic and we are excited, and we want each and every last one of you to be a part of this great grand occasion of moving forward. How about that? Like the way that that was said. All right, so go ahead and share, if you'd be so kind. Share with at least 50 people so that we are able to get all of what we need to get um, in the place. All right. So, good morning, Marilyn. Good morning. Love you. Thank you for sharing. Like we said before, we are, and you guys are going to be testing my wit out today. We are in here and we're talking about a topic that is very, I'm in my director's chair today, very interesting, um, but I think very necessary. And so are early, so go ahead and share with some folks, and we're just glad about it. Just FYI, we are also live streaming to YouTube. So for those who's not on Facebook and you have friends, let them know Live with Lakita, our YouTube channel, is live and well as well. So we are live streaming both to Facebook as well as to YouTube as we speak. We have the ability to live stream to multiple platforms, but I want to get with this marketing person to best utilize what we have so that it is absolutely effective. They've already shared that the amount of time that we are on is really great because people's timing, attention span, etc., things of that nature. So we're excited about that. But we are live streaming to YouTube as well. Ooh, and we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of powerful videos on our YouTube. So if you're not a YouTube subscriber for Live with Lakita, go on over there and help us to get to at least, I think we need to get to 1,000 subscribers. So share in powerful interviews that I've done with Black pilots and all kinds of stuff. So just make sure you go over there, and we're going to be doing much more marketing, advertising, and things of that nature. And so as we move into 2024, and as we're revamping and replanning and rebranding, and just kind of seeing exactly how God is tagging the ministry. Just FYI for those who do not know. So Inspired Me Ministries, I started that 2005. And so we are now 18 years in this ministry that is to be a global sort of ministry that allows us to do all these sort of personal development trainings and workshops and seminars. And as a result, there are various arms underneath that particular ministry. We out of Inspiring You Ministries, we had Inspiring You Counseling Center. And so we're so grateful for that. We had Girl Talk, which was a powerful, powerful program for girls between the ages of 10 through 21. And that was very powerful, hoping that my daughter would take it on, and we'll see. But we were able to impact the lives of more than 5,000 teenage girls over a short period of time, and their mothers or aunts or some woman in their life. WAKE, Women Advancing Kingdom Efforts, is the global outreach to doing training and teaching and mentoring women to have kingdom efforts in their lives, particularly professional women of faith. And so that's what WAKE was all about. And these were all pieces of Inspiring You Counseling Center. And then, of course, our famous mental health in the church. And so those are the 4 elements. And so we're just working with someone to kind of revamp it all, trying to decide whether I want to actually get a small center to have Inspiring You Ministries Center, for 2024. So I'm talking to some people and talking to some silent investors as well, and some of them happen to just be friends of mine who just want to see things go forward. And so I was thinking maybe I should get a small building and really do the ministry the way that God showed me to do it. And it would be a center, more like a wellness center with those elements, coming out, and all those things, and then we can hire and do all those things. So be in prayer for me. So I'm using the rest of this year to pray, to fast, to seek, to strategize, to put into place, to look at teams, to create teams and things of that nature. So much prayer for me as we do that, but we are coming into 2024 in a very different, powerful way, and leaning heavily on having our own not small, but our own building with the various services that we provide. So, and so we are doing that. Hey, Marilyn, no, we're going to stick to the 6:30 time. A couple people had said it go by so quick, but because we were using a new platform, Marilyn, today we wanted to make sure that we were able to get on, that there were no glitches and things of that nature. So tomorrow we will. I'm going to start coming on 5 minutes before the 6:30 time, so I will always get on by 6:25. The new platform allows much more easeability with everything, actually, for me. Please, thank you, Marilyn. Pray for me. The vision, really, God said He's waiting on me. The vision is really already done. I've got people from all sorts of places, men and women, ready to put their hands to the plow to do the ministry and to do the marketplace work that we want to do. I just want to just kind of lay it out plainly, kind of see what needs to happen, how we need to do it, because I know it would be a total blessing to people's lives on multiple levels. So, yes. So, yeah, Zelinda, I called you, girl, and left you a message. So I'm hoping you are doing well. I made a house phone check on you, a wellness check is what I did on you. And so glad that you are here. And thank you so much. Our dear sister Laretha is on here, so we gave you a shout out earlier. I told the audience and the family that you lost your brother, and so we are going to be in prayer for you and loving on you and your family. If there's anything that we can do to help to ease the discomfort of the grief, please let us know. Lord, I thank you for the change. I actually really love it because the way that this platform is set up, I can see all of you guys' comments and I don't have to actually go to, Facebook Live on another device. It's here. And so we're going to have the IT person. They're going to come in and do our countdown and the intro video and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, so it's good. It's good. And this is what your monthly subscription, your monthly support. There are several of you. We're still wanting to get to 300 people to support in the month, and I forgot where we're at, and I think we're at like 15, I think so. And I'll just go back and double check. You can give as little as $10 a month, and I think our highest person gives $500, which is Dr. Betty Price Foundation. They give $500 a month every month, and so that allows us to do the work for families who cannot afford mental health services, and that has been what that has been about, and we're so grateful for that. So our switchover, purchased the new camera, our switchover got the new platform, and so there are several other things that we want. And then probably in a couple more months, we will start looking in spaces where Inspire New Ministry Center, where it could be at, like what city God would have me to do it at and do it in. I don't know if it's the city that I'm going to be living in or that I live in or not, and we'll kind of go from there. So be praying for me. All right, y'all praying for me? Okay, awesome. Okay. Are there any questions? If anybody have any questions, this is great because I can like see all of your postings today. Let's see if you guys can see my posting back. Okay. Okay. And My thing is on both. Okay, gotcha, gotcha. Perfect. Okay, I'm just reading on something. Let's see here. Okay, let's see here. Um, got it. Okay, no worries. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we are here. Gosh, happy Tuesday. So listen, are you guys ready? You guys ready? Okay. So do me the biggest favor. So take your pen and your paper and let's, if you have the capacity, some of you are at work, and I know that you guys are at work. So here's what I want us to consider. All of this week, I'm going to be talking about some form of warfare. And we're going to start off the conversation about psychological warfare if we can. And I'm just pulling up my notes from another space that I had them at. And we're going to talk about psychological warfare. And in that, I want us to consider, if you be so kind, if you be so kind, this whole concept of the mind going dark. And I know that we've been waiting for my anticipated book. And so I am going to get that out. I don't know what it is. I just probably a little bit too much perfectionism or something, but I feel like, oh, it's just not done yet, whatnot. So keep praying and keep pushing. But we are going to talk a little bit about when the mind goes dark. And we're going to talk a little bit about um, psychological warfare, and then we'll be going into other aspects of warfare. We'll be talking about out this week spiritual warfare as well, and the implications of how these warfare tactics come against how we move in our world system, how we move in our lives, and how we move in our families. All right. And so we are ecstatic for the opportunity, and we hope, and that's why I asked you to get your pens and papers, because I want you to write down on your pen and paper, what do you think psychological warfare is? Okay, I want write on the paper or put it in your chat. What does psychological warfare mean to you? If you want to break the two words down and talk about psychological and then talk about warfare, then go ahead. I want to give you guys about 30 seconds or so because I want us to really start to look at what's really upon us right now in the world system. I don't want to talk about something by and by. I want to talk about something that's right now. The agendas that are moving in the earth, the propaganda that's moved in the earth, okay, because it's already here. The ways in which things have been put on here. All right, I see some of you are posting. Wonderful. Some of you say that psychological warfare is battles in the mind. All right, come on, give me some more. What is psychological warfare? Okay, I want you guys to share what is psychological warfare. And for those who just joining, this is your I Speak Live broadcast. I'm Dr. Lakita Marketplace Evangelist, mental health professional, and consultant, able to really give you an understanding about biblical principles and psychological concepts to help you be better in your life. All right, so Linda, you said negative thought processes. Okay, fighting within. And I want you guys to take on your scholarship mindset and think about psychological. What does it mean to be psychological and psyche and all those things? I want us to take that space in place and go from there. So let's take that time. Keep going. Fighting within. What is psychological? Psychological. What is it? What is psychological? What does it mean? Mm, what is psychological? Very interesting. What is psychological? What does it mean? Okay, reducing someone's morale. Okay, Judy. All right. What else? Y'all ready? Okay. So the term psychological means affecting one's mind, one's mental and emotional state of being, having something mental being impacted. Psychological will always deal with the mental or emotional rather than the physical. So when we talk about psychological, let's just get to the basics. Psychological is always going to deal with the mental and the emotional rather than physical. So when someone says psychological, they're actually just saying the study of what is mental or psychological, and or emotional pertaining to the mind, the impact of one's mind, and how that affects your day to day issues. All right, battling with processing thoughts. Yes, Marilyn said when you feel like you're losing your mind. Yes, it definitely the result of psychological warfare. Absolutely, you feel like you're losing your mind, and the constancy of that. So here is the clarity for psychological. When you just plainly look at it, it is just dealing with mental and emotional status or state of one's mind. What is one's mind at the time? That is what psychological means. It's the status, it's the way in which one's mind is working. And so when you look at that, then we ask the bigger question and we say then to ourselves, well, then is what is warfare? Okay. What is warfare? Now, biblical terminology regarding warfare is much different than the world system. Somebody had got on my page, was like, why wouldn't you want to be proud and this, that, and the other? And I shared to the individual who I happen to know, he's not going to believe in the way in which I believe because he doesn't really believe necessarily in a God and in God. At one point, he did believe in God. It was a strong soul winner for Christ and for the body of Christ, but he has opted now to not be a believer at this point in his life. And so I responded to him and said, um, he was saying that why would somebody want to be humility or humble when it means all these things? And he got a definition from the regular dictionary. And I tend to like to go also to the Greek and the Latin and other ways to look at the words, because by the time it comes to the English dictionary, it's just all, messed up. But when we look at the Hebrew and the Greek of the words, we get closer to the original context of the word. And so let's look at warfare. All right. And good morning to all of y'all if you're just joining us. So warfare. Warfare is engagement, and I want you to get this: engagement in or the activities involved in war or conflict. Engagement in or the activities involved in war or conflict. Okay. When the Bible talks about warfare, it's fighting against the work of evil forces. Okay. Many people don't even believe that there are even evil forces. Trust me, there are evil forces, demonic spirits, spirits of oppression, spirits of harassment. There are things that come to try to harm you. There are evil spirits. There are demons really roaming the earth. And Satan himself roams as well, the chief one. So warfare has all to do with war and conflict. It's when people have an opposing, when we look at warfare in terms of the terminology with military. So it's military opposition against one another. It's a conflict against military branches. I put a post up on yesterday because I do a lot of reading on a lot of different topics because of the way in which God has my overall ministry, to make people aware and to motivate people. And so I've been reading about, military branches. I'm always reading about something regarding the government, and just trying to really ask Holy Spirit, like where we are in our world system. And it was so distressing to read that 3 of our military branches are currently without leadership. Okay, so there's no leadership in 3 of our military branches, which is really dangerous, unsafe, and it speaks to a very a divided system. It tells me that the system in our government is very divided, and why there are no military branch leaders is all just crazy to me, because of one Senate person is holding up the vote for all these nominations, and to me, it's just sickening, right? But it did have me thinking about psychological warfare and the implication that it's the propaganda. So when we talk about psychological warfare, I want you to understand it's the propaganda of opposition that's put out there to disconnect people from truth and to cause you to become subject to the enemy who's putting out the propaganda, right? So when we had for example, the COVID stuff, this is going to be a great example of psychological warfare. Upon COVID coming into play in 2020, in 2019, my daughter got sick in December and she begged to stay home. She said, Mom, like 30, 40 people I know at school, they ain't going to school either. And I said, you going to school, but she could not move. And then I got sick toward like the end of December for like 3 days, like really, really sick. Like I had never been so sick to where I had to wheel myself, like to just get out of the bed and crawl. In hindsight, who knows? It might have been the COVID, because we weren't talking about COVID in December 2019. Fast forward to January, then we're reading all these different things, and then in February, there's this push for this COVID, and the vaccines coming out, this and the other, and they started pushing this propaganda, this narrative about COVID, about what you had to do, how you had to do it, um, you know, um, and then they just shut down the whole country in March for 2 full weeks, and that was all interesting. And the psychological warfare piece that I'm talking about during that time was the piece that they would say, and that others would say that just really wasn't true. It wasn't adding up. They weren't even listening to the people regarding, um, regarding next steps and things of that nature. And so the psychological warfare created, um, people being able to not see clearly and to kind of be duped, if you will. There goes my daughter. She, I know, sorry. She didn't know we are the new systems. Every say hi, Kayla. Hello. You, go ahead, honey. You're already there now, babe. Go on. She's like, what? So the psychological warfare is really imperative that we look at what's being put out. Like I thought about this agenda about Black African American history, which is so disturbing. I'm gonna do a whole broadcast on that too, because I think that's a part of the warfare that's going on. You got a whole state that is going against not wanting Black history to be talked about for fear, or what they say is going to create um, a guilt trip upon people, so they don't want any conversation about slavery at all, or you get into the critical race theory. And so now what's it's forcing me to do is to really read everything from beginning to end about why would you want to do that? Like, so how come you talk about your history as white people, and you can bring up your history about what you've done, but you will not allow us to bring up our history about what was done to us? Like, it doesn't make any sense, like at all. It does not make any sense. And so these are the psychological pinnings that began the psychological warfare, where people are not able to make sense of their life because of what's been put out to them. Does that make sense? I hope it's making sense. And so when you feel, and I'm just giving an overview because we'll talk about it the whole week. I just wanted to give us, hey Sandra, I wanted us to get an understanding of this psychological warfare, because it comes into play on so many different levels. Jobs play games, mind games, abusive spouses play mind games. You know, sometimes even in our churches play mind games. Just so many different things in the psychological warfare. The battles that you have on the inside are so great. You're not even aware. You're not even aware how great of a warfare it is. And so this week, that was just an intro. We're gonna always try to see if we can stick to our 20 minutes or so. And so make sure you get on here. We're gonna come on here 5 minutes early before the 6:30. So we're just trying out our new platform, hoping that you guys like it. But we want you guys to understand what is the implication, what is being said about everything that's out there, and how are you taking it in, and how is it affecting your mental well-being? How is it affecting your mental well-being? Does that make sense? And you've got to daily decide, I am not giving in to what they're saying. I just refuse to give in to what's being said and what's being told to me or about me. Does that make sense? So as we get ready to do our close, are there any questions? And be thinking about, this psychological warfare and how it's moving in the earth. The transgender agenda, same-sex marriage, that's an agenda, and the different things that they've done to really push that. Implementing that information in children's books. There's like books that I've seen that are just awful. If you want to do that with your own life and you're a grown adult, that's one thing. But to try to infiltrate the mind of a first grader, a second grader, third grader, we're talking about something else. Does it make sense? So children are battling in their head about gender identity and all those types of things. Does that make sense? All right. And so that's what we're going to talk about this week. We're going to break down. We're going to look a little bit at history. We're going to talk about real time. We're going to look at the psychological warfare that you may be personally going through. We're going to look at why we go through psychological warfare, how we can get out of those battle fields, and then what do we do to strengthen our mindsets. So, hey, if you're having a great day, I am too. Take your coffee, take a sip. And be blessed on today. It has been my absolute joy. Thank you guys for being patient. We're on this new platform. I am still learning it, but honey, give us a good full 1 week. Y'all gonna be like, what? They coming in, like we is on a professional station. So we're gonna get it all together. We promise. We're gonna get it all together, and it's gonna be great. Wonderful. Are there any questions that anybody have? Thank you so much, Judy. Hey, Sandra, thank you so much, beautiful. Any other? I am loving this whole new platform, though. Totally. It feels great because we're also going to be having some people coming on as guests. So we wanted to make sure we were prepared for them. All right. And remember, if you were not on here when we first started, we are also live streaming to our YouTube exactly at the same time as Facebook. So it's Live with Lakita. Look me up on YouTube and be over there as well. You can also comment there. I also am able to see the comments, and that's why I love this platform. I can see the comments from Facebook as well as YouTube. It's pretty awesome, and I can respond therein. So much blessings. God bless you guys. Have a great day. We'll see you guys on tomorrow, Wednesday, for our I Speak Live. Remember, guard your mind, guard your heart, and most importantly, keep loving God so he can guard you the best. Love you guys, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.